message, and success goes to Joey Brown's head in bright lights.
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Right now here on TCM, we're going to be spotlighting blockbusters of the 1970s, not just from Hollywood, but from around the world, including India, Hong Kong, and the Middle East. All part of our 15-week presentation of the story of film, An Odyssey, the British documentary series about the world of movies from the beginning of the medium up until today. And joining me, as he has been doing every Monday, is the man who made the documentary, film historian Mark Cousins. Welcome again, Mark.
Thank you, Robert.
And for those who haven't been with us as much as they should for this wonderful series, give us some of your credentials. Why did you feel you were a man able to take on this daunting cast?
Yeah, it was a bit foolhardy. I've written 4 or 5 books on cinema, and I teach film history. I studied film history, and I make documentaries. And I tried to make something that would look at film from the filmmaker's point of view. You know, how do you come up with a new way of staging a scene or something like that? So I wanted to make something that wasn't theoretical. It was more from the filmmaker's point of view.
Well, I think it's good that you're here too, because we can tell by talking to you, you know a lot about what you're talking about, and you're passionate about it and everything like that, which goes a long way to describe, you know, a man who should be doing this.
Yeah. I wanted to make a love letter to cinema. I wanted to be full of the passion that a love letter has.
We also have to say this is your vision of the history of film. Yeah. You know, you're not saying this is everybody's vision, but you're also bringing in, I think, the very important thing about the international aspect of all of this. We tend to think of film as Hollywood film, but it goes so far beyond that.
As this section shows, you know, there's so much about even in popular cinema of the 70s.
Let's talk about that. Do you think that, has that been good for film? The fact that, you know, you say that Disney makes a film like Pirates of the Caribbean and based on a ride at the Disney park or something like that. What is that doing to filmmaking? Well,
I think that we wouldn't all love cinema. We mightn't even be watching this show if cinema hadn't been about escapism, if it hadn't given us those joys of escapism, the magic carpet ride. That's why I love popular cinema. But I don't want movies to repeat themselves, to be cookie cutter, to be too formulaic.
We seem to be doing a lot of that now.
We do a lot of that in sequels, etc.
Right.
So we must celebrate popular cinema, but also require it to innovate too. It just cannot do the same thing because we get bored. You know, and I go, when you know that when you go to the movies, you sort of want to see something you haven't seen before.
Right.
If you see it all, if you're ahead of the story, that's no good.
Right.
And the great innovative films of the 70s were coming up with new things, new ideas.
Is that going on around the world? Movies that we're not aware of because, you know, certain movies in a certain country might be popular in India or something?
Yes.
Are they doing a lot of sequels?
Yes, Hollywood and Bollywood, the twin sisters of the movies, have loved sequels, always have. They've loved repeating formulae because, you know, it's safe. It's safe, it pays, it brings in the money. So Hollywood and Bollywood have made great films, but they haven't often done the R&D, the research and development for cinema. They haven't been the think tanks. We've often had to look elsewhere for that research about how to make a new type of film. But in the 70s, there were certain films in Hollywood and Bollywood that were new, that felt new.
But we get into a lot of that in this chapter, right? But let's have a look. Here being shown for the first time on U.S. television, the premiere of Chapter 11 in the story of film, An Odyssey. This chapter is subtitled The 70s and Onwards, Innovation in Popular Culture and Around the World.